So, Alnarställen, Västerås, in southern central Sweden. Here I'm working for a few days with the teachers on differentiation, intention, implementation and impact. And I'll just take you through a few of the ideas that we developed together. So first of all, the teacher as a curriculum creator, curriculum being not just content, but actually everything that teaches the child anything. So creating a curriculum is creating a learning experience for the child. And we looked at ways of being original, being creative with it. Even if, as in Sweden, a lot of the content is non-negotiable, even the time when the content is delivered is sometimes determined by the state, sometimes by the Waldorf literature. And yet we have still so much freedom on how we do things and how we think outside the box. Important in this, we actually open ourselves up a little bit. Then when ideas come, we consult on those ideas before we experiment in the classroom. After all, we have this wonderful resource called our colleagues. We document what we do, especially if it's something new. We evaluate compared to our original intentions. And then, of course, if it's worked, we celebrate. And if it hasn't worked, we celebrate the learning. So from this creation, we move then to actually a structured way of looking at things. So we've created learning objectives for the children. What are they supposed to get out of it? And they, in turn, inform right at the beginning our year plan. What do we do when? What do we do in each block? And this includes subject teachers who also can learn to think in blocks, thematic blocks, even if their work happens in weekly lessons. We create schemes of work. So we actually don't just plan the content, we plan what the pupils will be doing so that we can ensure variety and differentiation there. And then we go into our daily planning. And at all stages, what's really important is the learning objectives that were there to begin with. So what were we expecting the pupils to get out of this? They inform the planning, they inform our practice and the process, and in the end, they measure the impact of what has actually happened. And we move from there then to the actual lesson itself, which really begins with human connection. After all, we are human beings and we must never forget that it's not just about the content. And having created a connection at the beginning of the lesson, we then create a learning space that could be as simple as just the act of getting everybody to be still and saying good morning. But it also has a meaning on geography. For example, look at this classroom. This is set up for group work, isn't it? And at some point, we're going to focus on the screen, and then we will change the furniture. The bridge part of the lesson is what used to be called the recall. So we create a bridge from the previous lesson to today's lesson, and we walk over that bridge together with the pupils, with the students, and then we can do one of two things. Either we deepen and develop what was learned before. We practice, for example, we metamorphose, transform, and then we discover something new. Or we straight away go over the bridge into something new and then deepen and develop what was done yesterday. This is something I want to do the same way every week, maybe not even every day. This will change a little bit. Important is that at the end of the lesson, I take a moment to remind ourselves that we have learned something. Because unlike in the kindergarten, we don't just live in the moment. We are conscious learners. And the pupils, I think, even in the very early years, in year 1, year 2, year 3, have a right to be reminded that they've actually learned something, that they've made progress, that they know something now that they didn't know before. And then, of course, you might know this thought. How many days in the Old Testament did God need to create the world? Was it 6 days or 7 days? A lot of theological debate on this one. I tend to think that the 7th day is part of the working week that the Old Testament God spent. It would be unthinkable to go from day 6 back to day 1. So The meaning of this is, of course, finish on time and actually let go. Give the pupils a break, give yourself a break, breathe out so that you can create space to breathe in again before the next lesson. So here we are. This is a 2-day inset day. Let me know if you'd like something like this for your staff as well. Hope to see you soon at the Modern Teacher. Bye.